week 11 of the fantasy football season. He has a few tight ends. I have his sleepers this week. The first tight end, Dawson Knox of the Buffalo Bills. Knox, a few years ago, we had a good season for this Bill team. Then obviously they went out there and drafted Dalton Kincaid, but Kincaid, he's going to be out most likely this week with the hamstring injury, and he's week to week is his status right now. He's made some plays this season, but like I said, he's been the number 2 tight end all season long for this Buffalo Bill team and rarely gets a lot of route participation and targets. Week 6 at Atlanta, catch 19 yards, a touchdown. Week 8 at Carolina, 1 catch, 15 yards. Week 9 versus Kansas City, a catch, 30 yards. And Week 10 at Miami, coming in relief of Kincaid, where he went down in the middle of that game, 3 catches, 37 yards on 4 targets. So Dawson Knox still a big target, especially in the red zone. And we know Josh Allen in the red zone likes targeting the tight end position. So this week, like I said, with Dalton Kincaid out and a beatable matchup versus Tampa Bay, he's a good sleeper option. Next tight end, Noah Fant of the Cincinnati Bengals. So this is a high-powered offense ever since they traded for Joe Flacco. Joe Burrow will be back in Week 13, it looks like, for the Cincinnati Bengal team. And Noah Fant's been serviceable as well since Flacco stepped into this lineup in Week 6 at Green Bay. 4 catches, 27 yards. Week 7 versus Pittsburgh, 4 catches, 44 yards, a touchdown. Week 8 versus the Jets, 3 catches, 41 yards. And Week 9 before the bye versus the Bears, 2 catches, 28 yards, and a touchdown. So very serviceable Noah Fant's been. And Week 11 at the Steelers, he gave up the 5th most fantasy points to tight ends on the season. And like I said, going back to Week 7 in that high-scoring game on Thursday night, he had 4 catches, 44 yards, and a touchdown, his best game of the season versus Pittsburgh defense. So this week, I believe it could be another high-scoring game between these two division rivals, and Noah Fant definitely a sleeper option out there in 97% of fantasy leagues. And the final tight end, Luke Musgrave of the Green Bay Packers. This Green Bay Packer offense, they're banged up all over the place. Romeo Doubs, he went down last week with the chest, but it does look like he's going to play in this game. Obviously, Tucker Kraft, who he's filling in for, out for the season with a torn ACL. Christian Watson, he's not doing much. Jaden Reed still out. So with all those factors, and we know Jordan Love's like targeting the tight end position, obviously with Tucker Kraft the last couple seasons, I think Musgrave could step up and have a good game in a favorable matchup at the Giants. So the last couple weeks for Musgrave, Week 9 versus Carolina, we stepped in for Kraft in that one, 3 catches, 34 yards. And then Week 10, it was a game where they couldn't move the football and do anything unless it was Josh Jacobs was this Packer team, only 3 catches, 23 yards. But Musgrave, he was a second-round pick a few seasons ago for this Green Bay Packer team. And this week, if you need a sleeper in deeper leagues, it's a good matchup at the Giants. And he's out there on 89% of fantasy league. That's a few tight ends I have as sleepers for Week 11 of the fantasy football season.